exactly 10:02 a.m. I would like to welcome everyone here that's present to our regular board meeting for March 19, 2025. Thank you all for being here today. Item 1, let's do a roll call, please.
Geraldine Tennyson, CLB Secretary.
Nita Bailey, CLB Investigator Supervisor.
Carmelita Santos, Administrative Officer.
Michelle Santos, representing Revenue and Tax.
Matt Cruz, board member.
Selena Ashland, Vice Chair, Board.
JP again, Director CLB.
Bernard Benevienti, Chairman.
Andrew Mesa, CLB Investigator.
Marcus Finania, CLB Investigator.
Aaron Aragon, CLB Investigator.
Thank you all. Item 3, we do have the affirmation of the public notice. Everyone's aware of this. We have it posted at the Post.
The Guam Daily
The Guam
Post.
Daily, yeah.
On Wednesday, March 12th and Monday, March 17th.
Okay. Item 4, let's move on to item 4. Review the minutes of the board meeting on February 19, 2025. Are we okay? Any questions on the minutes?
I move we approve.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good morning, Ms. Rena.
Good morning, sorry.
Do we have public here today?
No.
No public comments? Okay, let's move on to, if there's no questions, let's move on to section reports, Administrator Division from Anita Santos.
Good morning, everyone. Just like to report as of close of business, March 14, Friday. We have received in our listing, active contractors 978, inactive contractors 27, master electrician 36 equal to 1,041. We have 6 new licenses received since the last reported on February 14. So we have a corporation of 1, LLC 1, sole proprietor with RME 1, responsible management employee 3. So we have, effective March 15th, we have started to receive the renewal of the 2026 applications. Upon payment and the submittal of a complete application, process ID and certificate will be given out. So to date, we have received 5, so that's pretty good. It's, at least they're coming in, they got the notice, it was sent out via email. CLB revenues collected from October 1st, the beginning of fiscal year, to present, March 14th, 99,595. Positive note of 8,780 that we have received. So that's all for our section. We have sent out also the 2023 Central Report. The audit has been completed, so we have submitted to OPA, the Speaker of the Legislature, and all those that are to receive the report. It hasn't been updated or uploaded into the OPA yet. I have called them and I said we submitted since this date. How come it's not on the website? So they said they're kind of like behind right now in the posting. So as long as it's in their area already, we're good to go. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's all
If
for.
I may, was there a reason for this significant drop from the master electricians from 50 last month to 36?
Because we are going now into our renewal period, so
Okay.
they're looking up now just, I think we're going in the right direction, that the notice has been out already for the army.
Okay.
I mean, for the master electrician, so they'll be coming in to renew
Okay.
soon, yeah.
Okay. Very well. No questions so far? Any more? Okay. Number 2, Investigation Division, Ms. Nita.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. Investigation section report. As of March 19, 2025, we have 5 open cases, 1 citation issued, and the amount of fine is 5,000, and building permits 151. On the open cases, we still have case number 2021-0904, GMI versus Menzies. This is still pending a hearing. We have submitted a letter to the Attorney General Moylan to directly to him to find out, the status, because it's been waiting for them to schedule us a hearing on this, so we haven't received a response yet. But it was already submitted to his office. So it's still in the status quo just for the hearing. And number 2, case number 2024-0904, CLB versus Harmony Construction. This is also another case that is on appeal. We issued a citation and they're appealing the citation. They have an attorney. So we forwarded it also to legal, if they can move forward with this appeal or not, because citation was issued and took over 15 days for them to submit their protest or their appeal. So we're still waiting also for legal's advice.
Is there a clock ticking on us for this?
We make a lot of follow-ups, but
Well, basically, sir, we did our part because they're fighting it legally. We need to get guidance from our side as far as legal advice on how we're moving forward. And we haven't gotten word back from our attorney on that one.
Is there a clock, we have X amount of days or
No.
to respond, or else they, it's.
No,
No.
so we have no,
Yeah,
no,
their
There's
appeal
no-
is upheld.
No.
there's no clock on our end.
There's
There's no clock on our end, not on our end.
yeah.
Basically, we did our part requesting, there's no 15, 30 day or the action that we had to perform, we've performed.
So basically this could, be
Drag
on
on forever.
drag on for another, 4 years, like number 1.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because our legal said that he would get another attorney, to help him with this.
So it sounds like the holdup is the AG's office.
The age, yeah.
It's all documented, right?
Yes.
It's not verbal.
It is
No.
It's all
given
documents,
that
yeah.
emails are, back and forth.
And we're certain that there's no clock ticking.
Just
We're
not-
certain, we're certain.
The
we're-
citation
Just
was
double
already,
check that.
yeah.
Have
On
the
our
Attorney
end-
General's office.
Yeah,
give you
it's
a-
done.
what do you call it? Ask that question about whether we have any time frame they have to make, and then let the AG's
To
office
address an
tell
appeal.
us that there's no time frame
We
or.
can do
Correct,
that.
yeah.
Even if it's in an email,
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can, we can do that.
We can do
Especially
that,
in-
yeah, to follow up if there's any, time
But if
Yeah.
you make, with you said you're emailing or
Yeah.
sending letters,
Yeah.
or is it just no, absolutely no response, like?
There is a response from our current supposedly.
receipt
Yeah,
of the letter
but he
or-
said the last time, Roger, that he's gonna find another attorney to help us with this.
Yes, he does
Yes.
have a conflict within this
Con-
case, so,
is that
waiting,
Keeler?
Yeah.
yes.
We need to memorialize all of that verbiage.
I thought we were
Yeah.
done with Keeler, we gotta have
We,
a
we
attorney
are,
to
we
send
are
us.
really, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Monty's, I think, older than.
What
Keeler.
happened is we were assigned another one and then they left. So, Attorney Keeler is our,
Attorney for.
attorney for
For the
Day to
record.
day.
record, right
Yeah,
now.
record, yeah.
Bless you.
So
So
number,
we don't have a recourse then, and we don't know what, we're just gonna wait for the AG, yeah?
We're gonna send another, we'll send another email,
As
find
long
out.
as we're documenting
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
AGs, then we can't do anything
Okay.
because we're not lawyers.
We
Yeah.
can send another email again.
they have a lawyer, so.
I think the AG's office is kind of in disarray. And the governor's pounding him at the other end, so.
As long as you have CYAs, we're good.
Mhm.
Kind of in disarray.
We'll do a follow-up email again.
Those are the two that are on appeal right now. So number 3, case number 2025-0102, Mr. Tusek versus Legal Corporation. This is a retaining wall problem. They're doing construction of a house, and obviously there was another house on top of the hill that's affecting, the retaining wall, that the original design is not enough because they're noticing like cracks or something like that. So they need, DPW need to, went there and then they were asked to revise the plan. So that's just the solution for this. I think the plan is already going. Once the plan is revised, then they can go ahead and do the corrective action. But they are doing it.
Yeah, so I just wanna disclose that I do know Dr. Classic,
Mhm.
we're just friends and stuff like that, so I have heard about this, but,
Yeah.
I do feel that, any decisions I would be able to remain neutral, but if needed, I can recuse myself if it comes to that, hopefully not, but
Sure.
I
sure.
just do wanna disclose I do know Dr. Classic, so.
Is this in Barragata Heights?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
heard too.
Yeah, we've visited the site with our inspectors, and I think they did a redrawing, if you will, for the retaining wall. The contractor went and cut into the toe of the hillside, I believe a little bit more than he should have. And then that led to the weakening of the hillside.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the hillside is not a natural hillside. At least according to the reports I'm seeing, it's more of a backfill
Yeah.
hillside. And so the rock and the coral is not solid. So it's very, very loose, and it kind of undermined I believe it would be the patio portion of the close checks up on top.
Yeah.
And so they've stabilized it with piping and jacks, shoring jacks, and so on and so forth. But and they've got a structural engineer who I think has put in new plans that we've seen, we've approved, and so the contractor will take care of that, and we'll follow them closely. You guys should just follow them closely as well.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
always, Okay.
Have we looked into finding the contractor or anything?
Because they're working together right now, and they're finding, that's not off the table. Right now, it was the design, they followed the design according to them. Right now, they're fixing it, if they fix it, both parties are doctors happy, if the improvements that they make to the project and it holds up, then that's what they're asking for, but, on their side, they're not admitting to any mistakes.
Yeah.
The contractor.
What I'm concerned about with, and I told our inspectors, is the weather. You know, once, the hillside is exposed already.
Right.
Once water gets in there, then, you know, it
Erosion
Erosion.
control.
could get worse, so to me, time is
Critical,
a
yeah.
huge factor here.
Was there any violations for any?
No,
Okay.
they have plans to do, the initial
Right,
plans
but-
were
but
approved
did-
prior,
yeah,
so
but he
they
didn't
started
stick to-
as they
It's
started
not
to dig,
of
they
our
still
concern
fell.
if he stuck to,
The plans.
you know, the plans or not,
Yeah.
that's yours?
I think what, I don't believe they expected the hillside to be that porous
Right.
and that loose. I mean, there's literally backfill in that hillside, yeah.
And you know, as long as they didn't violate any regulations or rules, then.
They followed the drawings and the engineer specs.
And they have a civil or a structural engineer who's redesigned it, and, yeah,
So it's getting resolved,
Yeah.
right, at this time?
that's my understanding, yes.
Okay.
We're not gonna see a house falling.
Hillside houses turning into mobile homes.
They're only mainly homes.
Okay, Dylan?
Okay,
Proceed.
so on number 4, Tate Skim, Welcome Investment versus DBI Inc. This is an unfinished renovation work. We just received the complaint, so we have, given the respondent the notice to appear. We're waiting for the response because, it's a little complicated. This project has been completed, but the owner is complaining about it, and actually there was another contractor that took over, so we will find out, how
What's the
it's
complaint, I'm sorry?
DH Kim.
What specifically is the complaint?
Unfinished work. And,
Interior?
it was a renovation, a home renovation. So according to the contractor, he said that the homeowner had them do work, and then when they discovered that there might be a structural issue, the contractor wanted to stop. I think they had help from DPW to tell them this is probably not a good idea to move forward. Then the homeowner told him, man, we had a deal, we had a contract, so just fulfill the contract. So the contractor doesn't want to continue if it's going to be a violation with DPW or like a structural issue in the future. So I'm still pending the response from the contractor right now. He's gathering all the engineers that he has on board to support his case. So he's still
Let me
pending
check
his
on this,
response.
this doesn't ring a bell with me. Where's this at?
Tamuni,
Location, Timoni?
across SDA clinic area,
Across SDA?
SDA clinic
Paseo
area.
de Oro?
I believe so, somewhere in there.
Not the flip side, not the view side.
Okay,
It's a foresight.
Okay,
okay.
so we'll follow up and report again on the next board meeting, the progress.
Still pending response.
Number 5, case number 2025-0202, Contractor versus G2A Construction. This is another unfinished electrical and repair work. So, the same, we're waiting for the response. The thing here is, the contractor stopped the work because he was not paid the full amount of the project, and then they started complaining, when they were asking for the payment. So we will gather also the response. There was no written response yet, so it's hard to say something and then the written response would come in. Yeah, so we will just make a follow-up and report it, the
Oh,
progress.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that attorneys are involved also with the
Yeah,
last two.
both of these are their
The last two
attorneys.
Is
cases,
there
so.
a deadline or a time do we
Normally,
give them to
yeah.
respond?
Yes, we do. But when they
And we did.
request more time because they're pending a response from an engineer or, that's where we
Right. Give an
discretion to
extent
give,
like
yeah.
extent.
Yeah. It may or may not go to civil, these last two. It may go to court. We're just trying to mediate before it has to get to that level. Yeah.
Okay, so that is all for our report for this month. Thank you.
Okay. Director, sir, it's your turn.
Good morning, board members. Well, my report may be short. It doesn't negate all the work that we have been doing here at CLB, as reported in different areas of the agenda. We have begun the process of communication with our legal office to understand our statute and how we can use it to our advantage. This is 70119, disposition of fees. This is the, what we talked about last board meeting about funds that we can receive from our fines that we put out. So we've actually sent a email, and we're trying to ask how they're interpreting this as far as when it comes to CLB and BBMR. If we're allowed to get the funds, and if, because we have not received funds according to Ms. Little, we have not received funds for how many years? And so we're trying to understand what this provision really means, is because it says just by reading it that we get funds, but I have a feeling that funds are being allocated somewhere else and it never reaches CLB.
So we have to meet our budget amount first, and the overage is when we can touch it. But by the time we get to touch it, the requisitioning is closed, the bids are closed. We can't move on into the next fiscal year, which is October 1st.
So spend money.
No, that doesn't sound right. If you,
Yeah.
if the budget, all your money's going to the general fund, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then the BBMR says, this is your budget, 800 some thousand, right? That's your
Right.
budget,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and it looks to me that you're not collecting 800 some thousand.
Not until like
So the general
September.
fund is supplementing you, right?
Right.
So they're not gonna give you any funds.
In some
Yeah.
years, we've actually collected more, right?
We almost reached 1 million
Yeah.
one year, that's a 2010, that's when that military
Yeah.
buildup
Yeah.
happened and.
But it's the same as road and tax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My God, we collect all the, 90%
Yeah.
of the revenues, and our budget is not nearly as much as some others.
Yeah, and you
It's
never,
probably less than yours, but what I'm saying is, that's the way it goes.
it goes straight to the.
Yeah.
Unless that fine and fee fund, which is what you're talking, is that a special fund?
Yeah, if it's.
It says Contractors License Board Fund.
Fun, right.
The fund shall be kept in the bank license to do business on Guam, and funds shall be paid only upon request upon the payment or requisition submitted by the executive order of personnel, the countersigned by the chairman of the board, with approval from the board.
Well, it sounds
Bureau
like we
budget.
have a special fund.
That is a
Yeah.
special
Yeah.
fund, that
How
sounds
much
like
is-
the appeals
How
board.
much money is in that special fund?
At this
As far as,
time,
I'm not
The
seeing any
budget,
money.
the budget will show the special fund and how much you're getting.
Right.
Yeah,
Because even me, as with insurance and banking, they give me a special fund, and it's from our
Yeah.
collections. It's not
Yeah.
as much as we collect, but we get a little bit. But it's in the budget, it's stated 400 some thousand.
And so we sent an email to BBMR to find out, so we can actually get educated on this as
Yeah,
far as
yeah, yeah.
really is it, cause it says what it says and we're reading but is it really happening? And so we're trying to get really, where's these
Well,
funds
if
going?
the-
If it-
Get the balance of what's in the fund and then we'll move
Yeah.
from there.
yeah, you can also check the balance on, with the GovGuam audit, it lists all the different funds that are in there, every single
But
fund
does
that's
it
separate.
does it carry over?
That's what's interesting.
Oh,
to
yeah.
find out if it does
Yeah.
carry
Does it
over.
carry
Oh, yeah.
over?
Because we better spend
But
it if
it
it's
sounds-
not carry over.
Just the way this sounds, it sounds like you should have a separate, literally a separate checking account, which is similar to what the appeals board has.
Yes, yeah.
It's separate and apart.
Yeah, we're still working on that, we haven't gotten any, word back on that. And so I'm sure.
Is there anything we can do ourselves?
You need legislation, I think, right? I know the Guam Board of Accountancy, Rev Tax kicked them out and said, operate on your own, collect your own fees and run. And so, our budget was part of the GovGuam budget, and then we asked, I think we had special legislation
Took you out.
to operate separately and have a checking account, and I tell you, it's so much easier,
And either way, I don't think you're gonna get both.
yeah.
We're gonna get both.
Right,
It's either one or the other.
right,
Depending on what you collect, what we collect
right.
in that special fund during a year.
Yeah.
And is it enough to handle the operations of CLB during any given annual year?
Maybe you need to meet with Lester.
And that's what we were talking, and that's why we sent the email, but we haven't gotten a sit down yet, but
Do
we're
you
still
have do you have a budget analyst you work with?
That's what I was gonna
Yes.
ask.
Yes, we do.
Who is it?
It was Jasmine Charias, now it's, they gave us a new girl, just like a week ago, so.
You might wanna also just ask for a legal opinion from the AG's office. Based on that, are you supposed to, should we have an account separate or apart from the general fund to include checking or whatever? And, you know, do your research first.
Yeah,
Cause if you've got like,
I'll try to work with BBMR and find out there, and then send an email to the agent, try to work it, maybe it's just not a, you know.
based on our records, what do you think we should have in there over the last 3 years?
It's very
I
hard.
know,
And we know what we're assessing, we know what people are paying, so we should have a record.
We do have a record of what we're collecting, every year we have a,
Okay, so what do you think we have?
right, well, just for
Ballpark.
this fiscal year, we just collected 99,000, I mean,
You're not using the money?
We've not, I don't
everything,
believe
we're not
Because-
even accessing the money.
See, like, with us, I have a special fund, and we use it, but we go through the, you know, we don't have a special checking account, we go through DOA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything goes through.
We're not
DOA.
accessing, we're living off of the general fund right now, what's
So if
appropriated.
we don't access it, it's just gonna be ruled in
Yeah,
the general fund.
It's there,
it's gonna be tapped in.
Okay.
yeah. I
Okay.
was at DOA, so
So
there's,
we'll have more,
check the audit, you'll,
more to come.
yeah,
for-
the account's there.
Can
and the
we,
amount in
can
it.
we put a date on when we can expect to follow up?
Next
Well,
meeting, you should.
Yeah,
be-
you can also write a memo to the director of DOA, citing that fund, here's the statute, blah, blah, blah. We would like to know what's the latest balance in that fund,
Okay.
boom, you get it.
Isn't our.
Or you could just email Goody or Teresa Rivers, those guys,
Yeah.
Mary Grace, they're all very helpful.
yeah, I
We'll
work
work
with
with,
Goody.
Ms.
Yeah,
Nita.
Goody's very good,
Ms.
yeah.
Nita.
So with all these hurdles about the budget, is it hampering your operations now? Or is it hampering you guys at all? You can't
Of course,
move
we're living frugal, where there's a lot of things that we could be doing if we had more funds, but obviously we're prioritizing how to make it through the year with our
Yeah.
funds, and we're cutting back on our funds.
Okay.
No one's going off any trainings, definitely no off-island trainings. We have 2 vehicles right now, one's just holding on by a thread. It was, we have to spend a lot, thanks to Public Works, we're able to get the truck continue to run,
Right.
but Public
You
Works
know,
paid for the repair period.
Down at GSA, they've been getting, cars from the federal government. We got 2 pickups. The mileage is good, we got 1 V8 and 1, they have V6s now. Just call down there and go down and see it, and then just, if you have, put it
Yes.
aside, and that's what we're doing.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll definitely,
Yeah.
we'll
It's
open up to
used,
that.
but
Yeah,
Better than
Yeah.
nothing.
If,
better than nothing.
if, we're always hearing, we're working within our budget and whatever, if that's not working, if it's not working for us living in this austere,
Yeah,
way,
we-
we need to speak up and say, hey, if you want us to do our job and do it well, if we wanna,
Well,
we need the funding no matter what, whether it doesn't matter what, everyone's feeling the pinch,
It
but
could
why,
be-
why should we be taking the
Right.
brunt of the pinch?
it could
and
be
then
to
be
the
suffering?
the FMIS, whatever their new
Yeah.
system at DOE, because we're stuck because, that's not working like it should, right?
Right.
I agree.
Yeah. So,
Totally.
it's holding up procurement, it's holding up everything, so.
I hear what you're saying, and I agree, if
You
we're
know,
not
the
gonna
other
keep on
thing
cutting back on our budget
the other
just to
thing-
make it work, but.
you could do, and I thought about this after I left last meeting, is, look for grant money for your training. Ask Stephanie Flores for help, because she can steer you in the right way. But, getting grant money, that's, it's not as hard as it sounds. So,
Grant money even for vehicles,
yes,
because
yes,
that's what UOG's doing,
yeah.
yeah.
Even Gita has money to give out. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We'll look into it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for that
You started some stuff.
report, Director.
Can we get an update on that on your report for next time?
Yeah.
Which one?
Just of the what we've asked.
Okay.
Just do-
Okay, let's proceed to old business. I guess we have none. Anybody have any old business want to discuss?
Yeah, with regards to, our revamping of our examinations, I was talking to some people that deal with certifications and training, vocational training. And, an issue was brought up that, they're teaching their students, codes for 2024. And then when the student graduates and comes to take a test with the licensing board, they have to go back and study what the regulations and rules were back in 2009 in order to pass the test. And this I'm still trying to reconcile, a person who's coming out fresh, from school and from training, with all updated, rules and regulations and codes, comes to go take a test from us, and our test is based on an antiquated standard that they may have not covered because it's an antiquated standard. It puts them at a disadvantage because they'd have to go back and find a study guide for 2009 in order to find out what those antiquated codes were in order to pass the test. It's just something I'm still trying to reconcile within, how can we put a test that's they're using 2009 standards
We're
when.
not working with them.
Yeah,
We should be able to work with them. That's part of your outreach.
right.
Yeah,
Can I say something? I know what you mean. We're just referencing the 2009 because that is in the law. Because GBCC is supposed to already have updated us since 2018 for the 2009 IBC. But we're incorporating the new amendments like the Guam Tropical Energy Code. We have that already. But we cannot say like we are using 2018 when the law says we're just using 2009. So we're just saying in the study guide that Guam is still under 2009, but there are a lot of new topics that we are picking up from California, Florida, those that are NASCLA
Right.
also. So we're getting our subject matter from them, not just only for Guam, but we have to say the building code that Guam is using
Right, so
as
it's just a reference.
2009
Okay.
because
Do you need legislation to update the code?
yeah, GBCC is the one that's in
That's
a
GBCC.
Guam Building Code Council. They are the one
They have
that's
not
the-
met
Yeah,
for years.
Who are they?
I've met for years.
yeah.
Years.
But from our standpoint, from DPW on the inspection and the plan design, yeah, we're, with Benny on board, we're looking to get updated as well. We recently had a meeting with she represents the International Code Council. It's nationwide.
ICC.
And so she's gonna help us get to that. Now, whether we go from 2009 all the way up to 2024,
Maybe
or 2009 to at least maybe 2018,
18.
we don't know yet.
Who's
you know,
our oversight? Who's your oversight? The legislature.
Senator Toniata. But I think the biggest thing though is we need to outreach with the
It's not telling.
the users of the code.
right.
Architects, the engineers, whatever, and just have a nice frank discussion with them. If we go from 2009 to 2024, what's it gonna mean? Are you ready for it? Or is this gonna be too much of a drastic change? Yeah, and they say, oh my God, wait a minute, I need to go study. Well, go study, Nate.
So,
Yeah,
sir,
correct.
can I?
But
so
that's what to me that's what's really needed. We need outreach.
So if GPC is not moving forward and Public Works is moving forward and you I guess, make that change to adopt, more recent codes, do we jump on that?
Yeah, yeah,
Jump.
yeah, and
Exactly,
I don't
yeah.
wanna, I don't want to move forward and jump to the latest edition of the code, right? Unless I talk to all the parties, because we're just defeating ourselves. The actual users of the code, which are gonna be the architects, the engineers, peels, guys like that, they need to have input as well.
Has to be publicized.
Yeah, it's just we're working in silos.
So is that board, that's, hasn't met forever and ever? Is that,
Have it
Critical.
vacated and
Yes,
put new
it's-
people in,
They
then
have
we'll.
their office here with us, actually, the GBCC.
Is anyone there?
who's on there?
But then it was when it was
It's been
Brand,
used for storage.
Brand Wise was the one that the chairman before, but then Mr. Camacho took over, then after that, there's no more
Let's
meeting.
absorb them and their budget.
Does the governor appoint that?
We have.
We actually give the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
We
have.
had, Gene Tykino
they
at the
tra-
governor's
they transfer
office
the
is the
funds
one
to us
that
if they
gets
don't
the board appointed, so.
They have a board member, they have board members, but they just don't meet.
You know what?
Anymore.
I'm sorry, there's a law that says
You
if
don't-
you,
you
two
don't show up.
unexcused, yeah,
Right.
they can be removed.
Yeah.
So maybe you need to tell the governor's office they haven't been meeting and that, you know, redo it.
Can we just follow up on
Because
that
this is
and find
critical
out
for
what
you,
the-
to move from 2009 to 2024.
Yeah.
It's 2018.
Let me
The
follow
idea
up,
was,
it's just my
before
position.
COVID, they came here,
By
ICC, the
my
International
position.
Code Council came here, we have, remember that, at
Yeah, yeah.
at the old.
So that's when we started to talk about all of this stuff.
But then we were
Fizzled
shut
out.
down, so it did not.
I mean,
Actually, Mr. Brand has called me in regards to the MOU, you know, spearheading for the broadcasting of the meeting. So he has, and it's gotta be signed by Mr. Camacho one more time for that document. But he's trying, Brand is trying to push it again.
What's that, which?
Tom?
You
Oh,
see?
my brother-in-law, his wife just died, just give him a,
Oh,
my sister, so she's, just give him a little time. He's overwhelmed.
Is there
I'll follow
anyone
up.
else other than Tom that you
Huh?
can follow up with?
I can talk to him.
He's gonna follow.
I'll follow, yeah, because I'm on board.
Director, I think with your assistance, we can really move forward on this with your guidance
No,
and
well,
assistance.
it's on us as well.
Right.
Because of our inspections and our plan reviews. Yeah,
Yes.
we wanna get updated as well.
Sure.
But I need to, you know, I need to work with all the parties involved. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Go ahead.
There's, one exam, right?
I'm sorry?
New business.
Okay.
Or we should
Then
continue
you-
business.
Okay, go ahead. We're good, we're good.
We skip? Okay.
On my side,
Citizen Commissioners report.
yeah,
Oh,
we plan to,
I'm sorry.
we plan to initiate a process, okay, on March 14, a letter was delivered to the AG's office addressed to AG Moreland notifying him for our interactions with his office regarding the JMI Menzies case, requesting for a status update. Today, we have not gotten a reply on that one. That was straight to the Attorney General, so we haven't gotten a reply from him. And that was inquired from the last meeting. Also, on March 14th, an email was sent to the Guam Building Code Council members, Mr. Brent Wise and Mr. Tom Camacho, in regard to the topic updating Guam's building code. To date, no response has been received. That also was from the last meeting. On March 12th, we received an email from our oversight officer, Vice Speaker Tony Addott, regarding Bill 81-38. This has been to introduce and entails the amendment, just a corrective typo from the rules and reg, and he said he will notify us when it goes up for hearing. So that was a carry-on from Senator Kanata. Now Speaker Tony Addott has it today. Lastly, we plan to initiate a process revising our current statute to enhance the relevance of today's context as suggested in the previous meeting. We look forward to your guidance. And this basically is like, example, when we publish and print out the contractors that are current, that costs about $11,000 every year we do that. And that's printed. So,
Wow.
our, you know, and the board has mentioned it last meeting also, that, you know, it's kinda outdated to be printing it when we have it already digital. And that's, by law, that we have it get printed. And so that's what we need to work on. So having that, requirement pulled out
A
of.
lot of things are like that, by law, you have to
Right.
print it and.
Yeah. And
Let's
so
just
that's
work
what
on getting the law amended so
Change,
that
yeah.
it's either printed or online format,
right. And-
either or.
And like also the board meetings, we have to get that printed, and what's the bill on that one to get it?
784 sometime.
Almost
That's
800.
almost- Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so, but I
that's
believe
highest
that
would be-
Senator,
Right, but it's still, that's,
Yes,
you know, it's
yes.
still kinda along those lines where you can
It's
get
a
it
little
The
electronic.
bit-
ad, printing of the ad,
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
to have this meeting, and it's about $800. But the big bill is $11,000
do
every
we
year.
have a website?
Yes.
It's there.
It's on the website.
So we-
And if you, you know, make special requests if you wanted to bring it forward.
You gotta, you gotta
Even,
change that law.
It's
Yeah.
the law, that's why it's general circulation.
And not only the cost, but the effectiveness. I mean, we have printed from years past of contractors, and no one really, a few, I wanna say just a handful, asked for a printed copy, and that we can do it in-house if that's what they wanted. But it's so few that it's really just
Are they,
Not needed.
are you gonna get penalized if you don't do it?
So we have to abide by the law.
it's the law.
What was Tommy Morrison's, you know, amendment based on those
What's gonna
unlicensed?
happen if you don't do it?
I mean,
He might be
You know,
fined.
I mean,
You have to pay them.
I'm the director that did it.
How many pages are we talking about?
How many
It's an
pages?
insert.
How many pages?
I'm not trying to
Of-
get
of
my
an
name in
8.5
the
by
newspaper.
letter.
Yeah, it's,
oh, it's
There's
bigger.
no, but they print an insert in
Yeah.
the
It's
paper.
It's in-
Bring this
Is
up.
it
Yes,
okay?
yes, I believe Nita's
Let me
gonna.
show you an example.
Over 1,000, so,
Over
but
1,000 names? Because they list their license
Yeah, so what they
specialty,
do
right?
is especially, I mean, it's a nice print, it's just, you could get it electronically just like that.
yeah.
And we can go to a
They give us
barcode.
an e-edition
There are
also.
old school people.
Yeah,
It's bigger than the newspaper
That's
itself.
11,000.
It's more pages
It's
than the
like
newspaper.
real property delinquent tax roll.
honestly, you can use it to clean.
It's just,
Windex after.
you just double the newspaper.
It's a lot, we have a
Well,
lot,
it is a lot.
That's
and the year can go by.
11,000
But
annual.
nowadays, everything's
Yeah.
online, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why, I hate to say it, but printers are going out of business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Yes, sir.
so
Um,
that's kinda like one of our kinda real hot
Work.
things that we need to try to
Work
stop.
with the front office policy, let them know what our desire is, and
PRC.
Mhm, okay.
Mm-hmm.
get the law amended.
Yeah.
Do I have to make a motion? Or is that an
Yes.
executive director
Yeah.
decision?
No, I think I better make a motion.
I'll second it.
Make a
You just-
motion, because I'm still reading this.
Oh, make a motion to go, ask the front office
To amend.
to
To
amend the
amend.
law so that we don't have to do this,
Printed.
hard copy, it's all
Yes.
online. Change the law to say and or just or.
No,
It's
do away with
do
it.
away with the printed copy and it's all online on the
Okay.
website.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I get the
She
second?
seconded.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
That's it, that's all for my report, thank you.
Thank you, Director. So we're done with old business, new business. Update SOP to reflect new exam procedures, proposed action to approve and implement update to exam procedure. Can somebody, talk about this?
Well,
Wanna discuss it?
It was brought up, about, updating the exam procedure to allow the applicants to review their
Yes, yeah.
exams after they've, taken them, graded them. So, we spoke with DOA to see what was their, rules and regulations on it. And, there's a handout here. This is the verbiage of their rules, and then this is our proposed. Of course, you know, if there's anything that you guys would like to amend or add, please let us know.
Yeah.
But it was, Mr. Uggan and the two ladies here met and,
If I can speak to that, Mr. Chairman?
Sure.
Yeah, I received an inquiry on this, and the inquiry basically was, after I take my exam, whether I pass or fail, am I able to review my results on the exam? And the word I got was no. I find that just, not disturbing, but just kind of interesting, right?
Yes.
I would think that we should be able to furnish the applicant the results of their test. Maybe not to take it home, because you don't want anybody taking home a test. But you
Right.
could sit down with them and say, this is your results, you have 15 minutes to review, you're not gonna take a picture of it, blah, 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 blah. If he wants to come back tomorrow or the next day to take it, then he can come back and take it. But to not show him the results of an exam, that's for a government, I don't believe that's correct. As I understand it, and we have an attorney here, even the Guam bar shows the results to their prospective applicants.
Correct.
I don't know what the medical board does, or the dental board, or whatever, but I would just think it seems pretty common sense that, you show your students their results. How do you expect people to learn?
Yeah,
You know?
Right.
giving them the answers.
Otherwise, he
and
comes
showing
back
them
4
where it
times and
got
makes the
wrong.
same mistake. Of
Yeah.
course, he's gonna make the same mistake because he wasn't told it's wrong. If he thinks the answer is blue, he's gonna keep answering it blue.
We're not
So
giving him the answer, we're just.
No,
telling
right.
him.
No, to give you that.
so what's the proposed?
if you'd like, I can read it. Upon the written request from an applicant, the executive director shall allow said applicant to inspect their own written examination papers and corresponding exam booklet. This inspection can take place within 30 days of the exam, and it must be done in the presence of an authorized representative. However, if the applicant is scheduled to retake the same exam, the inspection can only happen no less than 5 days before the scheduled exam. It is important to note that this inspection privilege does not allow the applicant to copy or take a photo of any part of the examination papers, including the instructions, questions, or their own answers. This privilege may only be requested once per classification exam. For example, if an applicant taking the C13 exam fails the initial attempt, reviews their graded exam papers and corresponding exam booklet, and then retests, they are not eligible to request a review of their C13 exam results for any subsequent attempts. So that's just
Just
the
setting the ground,
proposed.
just setting the groundwork, anything can be worked around. We're just trying to set the limits of what, for example, if an individual took a test one time for electrical, he failed it, he can review it. The second time he fails it, he won't review the mistakes again. That's just a proposal. These are all just proposals, like 30 questions exams, 10 to 15 minutes time to review their mistakes.
Why can't he
Do
review
it
the
the second
second
time.
time?
Yeah.
It's a process of learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We put this out here just so it's like a working,
Well,
yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
I think the most important part is maybe how many times are you gonna
Gonna
allow
take
him
the
to
test,
take it and he
yeah.
doesn't pass?
So
But
that-
I
yeah.
think he can review it as many times as he wants, or can, but, I think this is pretty good already with that part taken
Change it,
out,
okay.
yeah.
so
Yeah.
take that part out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let me ask you, how many times can an individual take a test?
yeah.
3 times.
3 times
Three
in a
times
year?
per
Twice,
hour.
and then the third time request to the director to the power from the board to grant a third.
Is that by statute?
Yes.
3 times?
It's like an appeals
Yes,
process.
and then there is also an appeal.
3
process.
times within a year.
Yes.
Anything outside of that, if he's ready to take, well, I think, and I don't know, they would take it 3 times because they don't know what they made a mistake in.
Right.
Right.
So,
Exactly, and
I
that's,
think if
and
we
that's
do
one of
this,
the
you'll
pluses.
see a big difference.
The drop in the
Yeah,
3 times.
in the F rate.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's one of the.
So if they wanna take it a 4th time, they send a letter of appeal to you?
Yes, and so that's when we bring in myself, of course, Miss Nita, Miss Lily, and basically we talk about, because sometimes the individual, because they take the law and then they take, let's just say, electrical, and they're just failing the law by one. That's where this just happened. where we granted them another exam because they failed only the law.
The law part.
They're good with their trade, and it just, you know, and so I can make that decision given from the board, but I like to get the different views of the leadership here, and that's what we just did last week or this week.
Well, you know, one of the purposes of this board and the organization here is protection of the public, right?
Right.
The safety of the public. As long as that's being adhered to, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, personally, you want individuals to pass. You want them to be educated.
You want them out of your hair.
We want to encourage
They
license.
do that, you know, and then they go out and do business on Guam. That's what you want. So, you know, I'm not saying let's have the guy take the test 6 times in 1 month, because after that,
He doesn't know.
yeah, he just doesn't
They
know
know
it.
the
right.
material, yeah.
And like Mr. Cruz said also, like, we're not just trying to make it so simple, easy for them. We want
Yeah,
to
no.
get a product, but I understand where the board's coming from.
You just make sure that the level is
Competency.
Where
there.
does it say you have to do it 3 times? Or you're only allowed?
Oh, it's
It's in our law.
The rules.
Oh, it's in our law.
Rules and regulations, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So do you need a motion? I move?
You want a
Yes.
motion on that, on the floor?
Yes.
As amended,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yeah,
I move
Do I hear
we
a motion?
accept your proposal to change the law with respect to inspecting a person's exam, and with the one exception of change, allowing him to do it as
Every
many
other
times, yeah.
Review the,
With mistakes, yeah.
yes, understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to clarify, this is for an update for the SOP, not the law.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's easier to change.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we need.
But-
Yes.
Also talk,
within our-
is this the one where talk to Ricky and?
No.
No, that's
No.
the
Yeah, yeah,
previous
yeah.
discussion.
internal.
We have to pass it?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
okay,
Aye.
aye,
Aye.
okay.
Ma'am, for Ricky, it's the change of the printing and the hard
Oh,
copy
yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah,
letter
yeah.
thousand.
Sorry, my Alzheimer's.
Oh, no, no. Understood.
I even had a dream about that last time.
You're overthinking it.
Okay, yeah, we have
You're
a little bit
overthinking
more to
it.
go. Okay, on the new business, we have, item number 2, board review or proposed update to the C18 fencing contractor exam.
We have
Proposed
one.
action to approve and implement the proposed update to the COB C18 exam.
Is this a new exam that
Yes.
we
Yes,
put
one.
together?
Yes.
Who developed it?
Show.
The exam,
Here you go, sir.
Aaron, Miss, and, of course, with the help of the.
Is this the
team.
exam that's being passed around?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we taking it?
Oh,
Oh, we're gonna.
There's a study guide on the exam.
All due respect, Mr. Ariola, you're not gonna make my fences.
Want to bet?
so just a reminder that if you are gonna discuss the content, if we can,
Turn off.
go, pause.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to an executive session?
Kinda,
Like a work
sorta.
section.
Yes,
Just say that it's confidential.
confidential information. Just let us know when we're
Now we'll motion to table this to further notice? Till we review? Okay. Are we back on?
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, we're still in new business. Item number 3, election of chairperson and vice chairperson. Proposed action to elect a chairperson and vice chairperson.
Why are we doing this?
I included in your packets the law regarding it. It's an annual election.
Well,
And
we haven't been doing it, right?
we did it last year and then it's just now time to do it again.
So every year,
Yes.
Okay.
And
You guys get $50 from me?
I don't get 50.
You do?
I'm not collecting
Every
any
once in a
checks.
while.
We do, but you don't.
I don't even see it
Yeah, the
anymore.
meeting after 5, you can get your $50.
That's you and me.
Okay.
Man, and I can buy a good
I haven't seen a
lunch.
check in a while.
We're not checking the oil.
Maybe we haven't received it. Get paid.
Okay, so are we doing the election today? Is that what we need to do?
You can, yes.
Sure. It's open.
Chairman and vice chairman, that's it, right?
Right now, it's Mr. Benavente and me.
No,
Oh, it's me, sorry.
It's yours.
Yeah, that's
What's the pleasure of the board? How easy?
I'm okay with the current, I don't change
Roll
it.
it over. Are you all right with?
Yeah,
Continue?
I'm happy with my position. I'm happy to step up if needed. So
Motion, man.
I'm okay,
I'll
I'm okay
second.
here if
There's
you,
your motion, keep it, second.
I second.
Motion to just keep the same chairman,
okay.
very able and capable chairman, and very
One
able and
year,
capable
yeah,
vice chairman.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay,
all.
that's my,
Give me enough
my
time
motion.
to-
Second?
I did.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Very
service.
nice. Thank you.
Okay, announcement. Yes, let's go down to item 1, Guam Election Commission, disclosure of conflict of interest. Do we have that all?
What's that about?
Yes, well,
that an
ex
annual
officials,
thing?
I don't believe need to do it, but the, 50.
Yeah, I
Yes,
already filled
so-
mine out, I just haven't given it.
Yes, so I included in your packet if you want, or you can email me that, I can send it in for you to the Guam Election Commission. If you do have a conflict, then there is additional documents that you would need to fill out. But to my understanding, ex officials don't need to do it because I think you have your own with the government itself.
So I can sign now, get you.
Yes, and I can submit it. As
Well,
far as
We
your.
also have to, does the board have to do
yeah, I
financial?
already submitted mine.
No, financial disclosure?
Never
Vince
have.
and I have
We
to.
two left, though, we don't.
So I believe if they have a conflict.
Oh, okay, then I
If you
just
have
throw
a
away all of
conflict.
that.
No conflict, no financial necessary.
Okay, so we're all good on that, on the election commission requirement?
Mhm.
Can I just ask, is it only you, Mr. Cruz, that you haven't received your stipend? You haven't received your stipend, your $50 a month?
You haven't seen
Okay, I'll check it. Anybody else? You guys okay?
Well, I
Receiving
have been
to-
for the last 4 months, so I don't know. I have to check.
For me, I don't even notice it, I don't even check.
Yeah, it's processed after
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
board
You
meeting,
submit
so.
for payment.
Yeah.
Except us?
It is.
Okay, I will check.
Okay.
So take us to lunch.
Anything on the menu, $5. Knock yourself out.
Biggie
Filet
bag.
fish on Friday.
For the record, CCU, I think gets over 1,000, right?
Yeah, CCU is over 1,000.
Wow, okay. Let's move on then. No questions so far? Anybody wanna, any comments, questions? We're good? Everybody's good? Okay. So, we'll schedule for a regular board meeting for April 16, 2025, at 10 a.m. No questions, no comments, and this meeting will be adjourned. It is 11:21.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion?
I move
Motion to
to adjourn.
adjourn.
Second.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Motion?
Yes, it would be made by Miss Michelle
Motion.
Sanchez and second by
Okay.
Miss
All in
Selena
favor?
Ashton.
All right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you
Okay,
all.
great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please help yourself, there's so much food over there.